everyone, welcome back. My name is Morgan, this is my channel Pisces Paperbacks, and this is going to be a quick little intro to the vlog that's going to be covering the next week and a half. My family's going on vacation. We're going to the Ozarks in Missouri, and I'm frantically doing my last minute packing stuff right now, so I just wanted to show you the books that I'm planning to bring. So obviously bringing my Kindle. I don't know if I'm going to get to that. I'm bringing Nona the Ninth, so excited, which is the sequel to Adhara the Ninth, which I just finished a couple days ago. I'm also bringing Level in the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I just feel like I should bring a romance. It's kind of like the vibe if you're going on vacation. I also think, surprisingly, these covers go together really well. Like, the colors match perfectly. I'm also bringing The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I've read this. I have 2 copies. I'm bringing this one so my brother can read it if he wants to, because I told him he would like it. And then I'm also listening to 2 audiobooks. I'm halfway through Easy Beauty by Chloe Cooper Jones. This is a memoir about beauty, disability, identity, etc. I'm also a quarter of the way through Our Wives Under the Sea. I don't remember the name of this author, but I am liking it so far. It's been a few days since I listened to it. I kind of got busy with other stuff, but I am running around. It is so hot here. I'm sweating. I have my air conditioner at 64 degrees, which is kind of a cold temperature to run your thing at, and I am just still sweating. So join me as I go on vacation. Off we go. I'm vlogging. We're listening to Taylor's drums. You know, it's all part of the experience. Hi! Taylor's version is on the radio.
I love this one.
Me too. So we are in Columbus, Ohio. It's our first stop. Tomorrow we're going to be driving to St. Louis, sleeping in St. Louis, and then on Sunday we're finally going to be getting to our destination, the Ozarks. And all I did was listen to 25% more of Easy Beauty by Chloe Cooper Jones. My sister's in the bathroom, so if you hear her washing her face or the sink running, that's what that is. And I did kind of doze off because I was just really tired from the day, but I did I'm listening to it, I'm reading it. This is basically a memoir about the author's experience with disability and beauty and motherhood. She has a PhD in philosophy, and I think that is very much informing the tone of it. I wouldn't say that this is an easy starter memoir. I think that the level of analysis and kind of academic analytical tone would be not easy for people who are just interested in reading a memoir, but if you have some experience with memoirs as well as some experience with culture writing about disability and motherhood and all of that stuff and how all that intersects, then I think I would definitely recommend this. So far, the writing is very good. It's clearly written by someone who knows what they're doing. I need to finish it tomorrow because the library hold is up at 8 p.m. tomorrow, so I have to finish it tomorrow. That's just I have to. And I am gonna go to sleep because it's almost 1 a.m. Oh my god. Oh, this is my retainer. Let me just put that away. Anyway, the Taylor Swift concert tonight was bananas. She's in Kansas City, Missouri right now, and she not only played Long Live during the Speak Now section of the concert, but then during the acoustic set, before playing any songs, she premiered a new music video for one of the vault tracks from the Speak Now re-release, and then she brought out all the actors who were in it, including Joey King and Taylor Lautner, and Taylor Lautner's wife, also named Taylor Lautner. And then she played Never Grow Up. And then she played, as a piano song, she played When Emma Falls in Love, which is not my favorite of the vault tracks, I'm gonna be honest. It's probably my least favorite, but it's still good because I like it, you know? It's whatever. But honestly, a wild night in terms of Taylor Swift live streams. I'm so glad that I was actually watching this time because sometimes I'm too tired, but I knew I was gonna be in the car. So anyway, I'm gonna go now. Good night. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's like 10:30. We are about to hit the road. We had a nice little complimentary continental breakfast. This is Jamie. You've seen her so far. I finally started Nona the 9th. I'm 30 pages in.
30 pages.
I love it. I have an inkling of who Nona is just from like existing on the internet, and also because I just read Harrow, and there is a line in one of the chapters that I think is a hint about who Nona is in this book, but I'm not sure yet. So far, very confused. You do look cute. So far, I'm very confused, but I feel like that's pretty much standard for the other books in this series as well. So I'm not going to question it. It's not my business. Jamie will question it for me. Oh, no, I won't question it. Jamie said don't question it. I'm not going to.
It's in second person.
It's kind of in second person. It's mostly in third, but then sometimes it says you. And I'm like, is that a hint?
When I want.
We are like, what? I think it's a hint because Tamsyn Muir is a mad genius. But we are packing to get ready to leave right now. And we're going to hit the road and we're going to sleep in St. Louis tonight, where my brother is going to meet up with us. So, yay, goodbye. Hello, it's nighttime. My brother's here. I'm vlogging. We're on the outskirts of St. Louis in a town called Collinsville. Okay. I didn't read anything. Oh, no, that's a lie. I finished Easy Beauty today. I did finish it. I finished it in time for it to go back to the library. Very happy.
Yeah, and I'm reading Divine Days by Leon Forrest.
It's really long.
Very recently back in print after quite a long hiatus. Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
He's also going to start Nona this weekend with me. We're going to read it at the same time. Very exciting. Tomorrow we're going to do a tour of the Anheuser-Busch beer factory?
I have no idea.
Warehouse. And then we're also going to see the Arch. My sister's in the bathroom. We're vibing. I have the live stream of the Taylor Swift concert open. She played Long Live Again, just want to say. And yeah, that's it. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Are you?
Yes. I'm taking a picture of the arch.
Morgan, say hi.
Hi.
Oh my god.
I know, it's very close. Take a video.
We're in the zoo.
Yay.
Woo!
Take a video of me taking a picture.
Then keep right. That is Walnut Street towards the massive, huge.
I'll pretend not to know
Good morning, everyone. It is now Monday. I never actually updated you yesterday, but I was busy driving, seeing St. Louis, doing all the things. And now we are at the Lake of the Ozarks. Let me show you the view that I have. This is the view from our deck at the place we're staying. It is so beautiful. There's a pool outside. There's a dock that I have to find so I can go swimming in the lake. It's just like, it's gorgeous. I just didn't know what to expect, but I love it. But let me give you an eensy-weensy update. I didn't read any more of Nona last night. I was just reading fan fiction, and AO3 is down right now, so I can't even keep doing that. But I did want to give you the update about Easy Beauty by Chloe Cooper Jones, which I did finish on Saturday. That's my brother. He's also reading Nona. He's ahead of me, even though he started it yesterday. I did like it. I thought it was very good. I'm probably going to give it like 4 stars on Goodreads. I haven't really decided yet. I will say that it's not, I know it's stupid because easy's in the title, but it's not a very easy memoir. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to people who don't typically read nonfiction or read memoir nonfiction. Has clearly spent like a lot of time thinking and living very internally and considering the reasons that she does the things that she does and why she feels the way she feels. And it has somewhat of a highbrow academic tone to it. And it was definitely a take on the identity politics of motherhood and disability and beauty that I hadn't seen written out that way before. I think she was incredibly eloquent, well-spoken. I loved that she narrated it, and I definitely would recommend it. I am still reading Nona the 9th. She's so beautiful. I'm still 30 pages in, so Malcolm's ahead of me now, but it's so cute. I have talked so much about Gideon the Ninth and Hera the Ninth. If you haven't heard, Gideon the Ninth is the first book in this series, and it's about, oh god, this series is so hard to explain. How would you describe Gideon the Ninth?
Lesbian necromancers.
Okay, he's unhelpful. He's being unhelpful.
Nona's so cute.
Now my sister's here. Come on.
I was surprised.
What are you reading?
Homework.
Homework.
I'm reading the Iliad and the Odyssey.
You might like the Song of Achilles. Have you read that?
I'm going to.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to give you the description, the synopsis of Gideon the Ninth. It's too complicated. It's too early in the day to be thinking of things. But you should look it up and you should read it because it's a really good book. This is the third book in the series, so I can't tell you what it's about. My plan today is to go to the pool and read and vibe and eat and relax and think about my pets and have fun. And I will update you later. Goodbye. Hello, it's much later. It's like 6:30. I read 60 pages of Nona earlier, so I'm on page 94. Here it is with the cover off. It has this cool rock with the locks on it. Should never be rolled away from the tomb. And I'm loving this. I love Nona. She is so precious, so stupid, just so stupid. I love her. And I went out, I read this a little bit this morning, and then me and my siblings went out and we frolicked in the pool. Oh my god, my face is a little blown out from the, I don't know, whatever. We frolicked in the pool and it was so much fun. I haven't been swimming in forever, so I had a really great time. And then actually we found this, like, you know those pool toys that you throw in and you sink to the bottom and you can dive for them? We were playing with those for a while. It was so fun. But then right before we were about to get out, me and my sister Jamie were like, let's just throw it one more time and then get out. And we couldn't find it. We spent like 10 minutes trying to swim around the whole pool, which had other people in it. We looked like stupid. But yeah, we couldn't find it. But I'm reading Nona. I love it. I'm loving it so much. We're making burgers for dinner, and I have Jenny Nicholson, what's it called? The Great Animatronic Caper, where Buzzy gets stolen, on the TV. So I'm living my best life. I'm having a great time, and yeah, I will read a little bit later. Hi friends, it's been since yesterday that we spoke. I think last I mentioned I had been reading a little bit more of Nona and had started another book. I don't know that I really told you that much about it, so let me tell you a little bit about Home Field Advantage by Dahlia Adler, because I actually finished it already. And let me tell you, it was really, really cute. Like, I ended up really liking it. I'm probably gonna rate it like 4.5 on my spreadsheet, definitely at least 4 stars on Goodreads. Like, I thought it was delightful and fun, and I did have some doubts when I first started, just because I wasn't quite sure, I wasn't sold yet on the writing style, but I definitely came around, and I ended up just like loving both main characters, so that was a delightful surprise. So let me tell you a little bit about Home Field Advantage. I'm also getting ready to make beer bread. We stopped in St. Louis on our way here and checked out the Budweiser museum. We were gonna take a tour, but they were gonna be closing early for a private event, so we ended up not doing that. And we just walked around their gift shop, and so I have a little beer bread mix that I'm gonna make. So Home Field Advantage, I think, is definitely marketed as kind of an opposite attract enemies to lovers, like hate to love vibe, but it's definitely mostly a forbidden secret relationship trope. So it's about the quarterback and a cheerleader. Basically, Amber is a cheerleader and she is committed to being cheer captain next year. And it's not only a way for her to like feel secure in her community with the cheer group, but also because she really needs cheer captain on her application to get scholarships to college. But it's hard to keep up that school spirit when the quarterback, Robbie, actually passed away several months before the beginning of the book and is being replaced by a girl in Panhandle, Florida. It's very scandalous. So she's trying to find a way for everyone to get along, all that stuff. But it's difficult because the team hates Jack, the quarterback. So basically, the idea of the book, the original like beginning premise, is that she wants to be cheer captain and show that she can be a leader. So she's going to try her best to make the team okay with Jack. And in exchange, Jack needs her help, like, so she's not like getting bullied by the team. I'm not explaining it very well, but it is kind of like a mutually beneficial situation. And then they start to like each other. So it's so cute. It's so fun. I ended up really falling in love with them. Amber, the cheerleader, also has a fake relationship with a boyfriend who is on the football team, and he is also gay. So it's just like, it's a nice little mishmash of a lot of my favorite tropes. So I ended up really liking it. It was very sweet. I liked that the characters who were teenagers spoke like teenagers, like not excessively, but there was cursing, which I think is more natural than having characters like almost curse or like I'll say heck instead of hell. You know what I mean? Like they had F-bombs in there, which felt to me natural and realistic, rather than people who like 17-year-olds going, oh fudge, like that's, I don't know. But I just really liked it. I'm so excited to read Dahlia Adler's other YA book that came out, I think, before Home Field Advantage. It's called Cool for the Summer. I need to figure out where I can read that because I loved Home Field Advantage. I'm really happy that I bought the ebook when it was on sale a couple weeks ago. So, big win for me. I finished Home Field Advantage a couple hours ago when I was out at the pool. I read most of it, I think, out by the pool, at least half, which was honestly very fun. I love the Airbnb. It's like you step outside and the pool is, 30 feet away? It's heated. It's like a heated pool, but they didn't heat it very much, so it still feels really nice and cool and refreshing, which is delightful. But after I finished that, I was like, well, I want to read something else. And I'm waiting to read Nona until me and my brother can read it at the same time.
You kind of read it.
I was reading Home Field Advantage. So I picked up The Wolf at Bay, which is the second book in the Big Bad Wolf series. I don't know if you remember, but I read the first one, which is called The Wolf at the Door, last year, and I loved it. It's like Criminal Minds meets werewolves, and I'm so excited. This is like, it's a paranormal romance series, but it's one where it's like the same main characters throughout the entire series. So it's still about Cooper and Park and their relationship. One is a werewolf and one is not, but they're both members of like the werewolf branch of the CIA or something, whatever. And I haven't really gotten into like the meat of the book yet. I'm literally only 5 pages in, but I'm hoping that I like it as much as the first one, and it will be just as much fun to read because I love gay werewolves. So who doesn't, right? Hello, I forgot to show you, but my beer bread turned out great and delicious. A little too crunchy on the outside, so I don't know. I'll have to see if I can make it better because I used a mix, but it was pretty good. Now I'm gonna go read Nona outside. is seriously such a good book. Like, it's so interesting. It's so different in tone to Harrow and Gideon, because Nona is just such a different main character. Like, she is so stupid. I love her. She's the best. But it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so different. Like, Gideon was kind of like this funny, action-packed murder mystery, right? And then Harrow is kind of like a psychological horror. And I wouldn't even know, like, obviously they're all under the umbrella of sci-fi fantasy, but like those are kind of like the more sub-tropey vibes that each book gives off. I wouldn't even know what to qualify this book as. Like, it feels so different to anything I've ever read, because there is such interesting nuance in terms of like the narrator, and I think that's something that Tamsyn Muir is so good at, the manipulation of perspective in order to influence the information that the reader is getting. Like, she is so good at it to a degree that, like, it's insane. It's so impressive, and I'm not yet halfway. I'm 178 pages in. This book seems to be split up into days, so I'm on the 3rd day is like the section that I'm in, but I don't know how many days there are. Possibly 5, but I don't want to speculate. I mean, you can't outdo the doer. And that might be a bit hyperbolic, but I'm excited, because every time I read a book that she writes, it feels like I'm in the middle of reading my favorite series of all time. And that's just special. It just feels really special. So I'm going to go and read out by the pool. The rest of my family is swimming, so we're going to go vibe. And I need to get into something less sweaty before I go out. But yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to go swimming in the lake, which is really exciting. I'm going to bring you with me. Thursday we're celebrating my brother's birthday. His birthday's on the 22nd, but our vacation ends on the 16th, and he's parting ways with us on the 15th, so we won't see him for his birthday, so we're celebrating this week, and it's a fun time. Maybe I'll finish this, maybe I'll finish The Wolf at Bay, maybe I'll finish something else. I don't know. The world is my oyster.
Yeah, go.
Me getting into the lake. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wait, I want to try.
Eyes of these boats? Of course I can't swim.
This is weird.
Oh, it's warm. Just come in the sun and it's warm. It's very nice temperature, actually.
Hey vlog. This is the state of the room. I'm Jamie. Let me find my book. I don't know where it is. I'm making a vlog. Don't tell Morgan. Secret vlog. I'm reading Colleen Hoover. It starts with us. And it's okay. Not the best. Let's let's see what else. This is Jube and Willie. They are lovers. That's all. Bye.
Hello friends, it is 9:30 on Wednesday? I don't know what day of the week it is. Went out for lunch and I had oysters and it was delish. And now I am 78% done with another book. It's called The Wolf at Bay. I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm not sure. It's by Charlie Adhara. It's the second book in the Big Bad Wolf series. I'll put the cover up. And I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's really fun. I think that because I like the characters and I'm interested in the story, the fact that the writing isn't particularly, it's pretty, not stilted, but it's very to the point. Like, it's direct. It's not trying to distract. So, which I don't love, but I've gotten back into the flow of a more like simplistic writing style, which doesn't mean that it's lacking in terms of like the emotionality. It's just like not my preference, but I'm really, really liking it. If you don't remember, the first book is called The Wolf at the Door, and it's about Cooper and Park, and they both work in kind of like the werewolf division of the FBI. Cooper is a human operative who is really recent to being introduced to like the werewolf world, and Park is a werewolf, Oliver Park, but he goes by his last name, and they are sent up to Maine to investigate a possible werewolf killer, and they kind of have a slight little relationship that blooms. And now in the second book, Cooper has brought Park to meet his family, and now there is some sort of murder that has been discovered in his hometown. So I really, really like it. I think I've said before that I don't often read paranormal romances that often, but also I don't really read paranormal romance series where it's one couple throughout the entire series, so I'm not used to the relationship development taking so long, but I am definitely enjoying the characters a lot. Like, I love them. Cooper is, I keep saying Charlie because the author's name is Charlie. Cooper is truly one of the most emotionally constipated characters I've ever had the pleasure to read. I do really like him, but it is really frustrating to watch him and his inner monologue like willfully misinterpret the messages that Park is clearly sending. So I'm getting a little frustrated, but I'm feeling hopeful with the fact that there's only I only have 30 minutes left of reading time in the book according to my Kindle, so it'll go pretty fast. And hopefully there will be some resolution before I read the third book, probably sooner than it took for me to read the second book. I think I read the first book of this last summer. I'm not sure. So it's definitely been a while since I've been in this world, and I don't want to wait that long again. There are 5 books total, and I did buy all of them the second I finished the first one. So this will probably be my last update for today, unless I finish it and I'm like, this is my new favorite book ever. But I'll tell you a little bit about it tomorrow when I read a little bit more Nona, because I guess I'm kind of like trading off days. My brother did catch up to me, so we're at the same spot in Nona the Ninth, which is really fun. It's fun that we're just reading it at the same time. Like, I'm having a really good time. Good morning. My hair's a little crazy. It's like 10 o'clock on Thursday. We're kind of celebrating my brother's birthday today, so my mom made banana cake, and we're gonna have tacos for dinner, and we have like candles and stuff, so it'll be fun. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Last night, I didn't realize that I knew it was gonna rain, but I didn't realize that like weather is different here. I thought I was seeing camera flashes out of the corner of my eye, and luckily I finished my book and got out of the pool and like came inside, and then saw my mom text me that there was lightning. And then I'm gonna put in a clip here. There was a lightning storm that genuinely lasted for, I don't even know, like an hour. So good thing I got out of the pool, because that would have been bad. I ended up really, really liking The Wolf at Bay. I thought the end kind of wrapped up really quick, but seeing as it's like a series where the characters continue to develop their relationship throughout the whole series, I feel like that's fine. It mostly wrapped up the mystery, and then there was some emotional development. I really, really liked it, to the point that I have now started the third book in the series, Thrown to the Wolves, and I'm really liking it. Something that is fun about series like this, which is not usually my experience in any series, is that I can just tell you what the next book is about, because the overarching plot, like it's about the same characters and it's pretty much episodic, so I can just tell you. So in this installment of the book, Park, the werewolf, his grandfather has passed away, and so he is going back up to his pack lands in Canada for the funeral, and he has brought Cooper with him to like meet the family and all that stuff, and he did not tell his family that Cooper is a human. So that is going to be, I think, the primary conflict. I mean, they know now. They've met. I'm already 30% in, and I only started this morning, so that's pretty cool. I really, really like these books. I will say, I know I complained a little bit about how emotionally stunted Cooper was in the last book, and also how the writing is very blunt. It's not quite as descriptive as I'm used to, but I want to say it's written in close third person, so it's like from his perspective. It really, I think, mimics the style of his thoughts. And I want to say that in this third book, he's now admitted to himself and to Park that, you know, he loves him. And so even he, in his own thoughts to himself, has been like, being in love requires being emotionally vulnerable, and he has been trying so hard every day. And I'm like, I'm so excited. I think there's going to be something to do with like mates and pack bonding that like Park hasn't told Cooper yet in this book, and like that's going to be a conflict. I'm enjoying this book so much. I already pre-downloaded the 4th and 5th books in the series so that I will be able to read them even if I'm not on Wi-Fi, like if I don't get to them until we're like traveling back to the East Coast. So I'm having a great reading week, guys. First things first, nobody say anything about my hair. I look like the woolly mammoth in Ice Age, so that's super cool. It is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just finished Thrown to the Wolves. It is, the thing is, I gave it a 4.5 star, but I think it is my favorite of the 3 that I've read so far. The thing is, I gave the first one 5 stars, The Wolf at the Door. I gave it 5 stars, but I think it was mostly, like, I did really love it, so don't think I didn't. But I think part of it was that I could feel the potential of how much I was going to love it. And I definitely think at the end of this series, it's going to be like a favorite. It's going to be like greater than the sum of its parts, which is kind of how I feel about a lot of my favorite romance series. Oh my god, I loved that. It's so satisfying to see Cooper and Park's relationship evolve over time. Like, I love romance. We all know I love romance, but it's truly just like, oh, I keep thinking my siblings are like steady on the other side of that glass door watching me, but they're not. These books, you see, like, there's space in between them. Like, the first book happens, and then 4 months later the second book happens, and then 4 months later the third book happens. I don't think it's going to be 4 months every time. It's just how it's worked out. But like, to see these people grow together and like learn to trust and be communicative and honest and open with each other, like, I loved this book so much. It makes me giggle and kick my feet, and the whole day I was just like reading and then going inside and being like, can I tell you guys about my book? And they were like, sure. And I'm like, okay, so the werewolves. It's so good. I think I'm gonna start the 4th one like right now. I know I said I was going to read Nona, but I want to read about gay werewolf federal agents. Okay? I know we hate cops, but I love them. I think that's it. I think that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. I didn't realize it was Thursday already. I thought it was Wednesday. Like, you truly lose track of time when the days mean nothing, you know? But tomorrow's our last full day here, and then we leave Saturday morning, which is pretty sad. But I will survive and then get back to my real life, where I will see my baby pets, because I miss them very much. So I'm gonna talk to you later. I'll let you know what Wolf in Sheep's Clothing is about when I'm like a third into it. Also, Cooper Dayton is truly a magnet for trouble. He cannot go 10 minutes by himself without wandering into some conspiracy. and like getting into arguments. He is so deeply stubborn. Like it's shocking. And I love him, but it's also like, get a grip. I want to shake him. I don't remember what I was wearing yesterday, but if it was the same thing, I promise it's a totally different day. So it is 8 o'clock Friday morning, and yesterday I not only finished Thrown to the Wolves, which I think I told you about, but I also started Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, which is the 4th book in the Big Bad Wolf series, and I finished it last night. I'm on a roll. I'm obsessed. I'm probably going to read the 5th one today, which is the last one in the series, which means that I've finished the whole series, which is exciting because I am bad at reading series. I tend to not follow through, but also sad because then if I want to read about these characters again, I have to just reread everything, and I want more. I just want them to be happy forever. I really, really loved Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. I definitely still think the 3rd one, Thrown to the Wolves, is my favorite so far, but I just love their relationship. I love seeing them learn how to communicate, and just like, oh, I don't remember if I told you what the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing was about. I think it's like they were going undercover at like a couples retreat for wolves because one of the employees had gone missing, and so they're there and they're undercover, but they're also kind of posing as like versions of themselves, and the relationship issues that they're trying to work on undercover at this relationship retreat are also ones that they're dealing with in real life. But it's like you really get to see their trust and devotion to each, especially their trust in each other in this one, which was so hard won in the last couple of books, and it just makes me so happy, kicking my feet, giggling. I keep like running into the house to be like, guys, let me tell you what's happening in my book. I think this last book is going to be wrapping up a plot thread that was kind of introduced and left hanging at the end of the 3rd book. So I am excited to see how the author decides to wrap everything up. I just love them. I really love these books. I'm kind of debating buying physical copies to have, just to like have them and be able to read them and flip through and find my favorite parts without having to like look through the chapters on my Kindle every time I want to reread something. But it's also like I own all of them on Kindle. Like I bought all of the ebooks, so it's like, do I need physical copies? No, just spending money. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask for them for Hanukkah. It's been a little bit and I'm 20% into Cry Wolf. I wanted to say a couple of things. First, I know I was complaining a little bit earlier that I would have to reread it to get more of these characters since this is the last book in the series. And while that is true and I wish there was a million books in this series, I also want to say that I'm not mad about wanting to reread it, because I've noticed that Cooper especially, like, out of context, it would seem like he was having just, like, he's just totally out of character for the last, like, couple of books, because for the first book, he's so uptight, and then all of a sudden he's, like, cracking jokes all the time. Not really cracking jokes all the time, but to Park, he's making dirty jokes a lot, and it's very fun. But it's also, like, he's so much more relaxed and sure of himself and confident in the later books that I'm like, oh, it's a natural progression. But I'm also like, am I misremembering, because I haven't read the first book, Wolf of the Door, for like a year. So I think I am excited to go back and reread the series at some point, maybe this year, maybe next year, because I think it would be fun to marathon. I mean, clearly I'm marathoning books 2 through 5, but I feel like not having read the first book right before that, I'm not missing anything, but I do feel like I'm not getting everything in terms of the character development that I could be appreciating seeing it all happen so close to each other. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me tell you about what the 5th book is about. So Cry Wolf is set 3 months after the events of The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. And Cooper and Park have moved into a house together. They're kind of getting settled into their life. And one member of Park's family pack that he's no longer a part of, but he still, like, you know, talks to them. And also his ex-boyfriend, his name's Eli, he comes to them and he is being blackmailed. So Cooper and Park are investigating, trying to help him figure out where whoever's blackmailing him is hiding the video so that they can dispose of it and help Eli out of this bad situation. And then also at the same time, like I said before, the plot thread from the 3rd book, a woman from the 3rd book has come to talk to Cooper in the very beginning of this book and is like, someone's coming for you. And it's been 3 months and he's like, nothing's happened yet. So I think that's also going to be like the final climactic plot. Conflict. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Conflict. So yes, I'm very much liking this book. Cooper and Park, they love each other. And I love them. My mom and her boyfriend are out getting dinner right now. And I wanted to give you the little update on my werewolf book because I finished it. Cry Wolf was definitely an interesting ending to the series. The way that it kind of starts tying in things for the previous books, and especially the way that it reaches its climax and then kind of continues that conversation even after, like, the plot has wrapped up. It's very interesting that this is the last book in this series. It almost feels like Samuel L. Jackson just came in and gave everyone the Avengers spiel, but then there's no Avengers movie, you know? Like, this is just the end. It's just like, because it kind of sets it up that at the end it is expecting some sort of larger political turmoil within the werewolf community, but like, it's the end of our story. So, but it's not the end of our story because Cooper and Park are inevitably going to get involved just because of who they are. I really like this one. I think if I was gonna, oh my god, it was so good. It was so, the way that Cooper and Park have learned to communicate and heal as people, the way that they've grown, like, it is truly so touching. Some of my favorite character growth I've read in a really long time. If I was gonna rank the books, I'd probably say in first place is book 3, Thrown to the Wolves. In second place is book 4, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. In third place, ooh, this is getting hard because I want to either put the first or the 5th book. But if I put the 5th book here, that means that the first book is in 4th place, but the first book is the only one out of all of them that I rated 5 stars. I think this is going to end up being a series where I don't rate them 5 stars, but they end up being all-time favorites, you know what I mean? Or should I retroactively lower the rating for Wolf at the Door? Or I could just rate them all 5 stars. Like, I could just do that. Like, no one's stopping me. Maybe I'll do that. I really loved these books. I'm like, I feel bereft now. Like, what am I supposed to do with my life now that I've finished reading them? But also, my Kindle's on like 2% and I did not bring the charger. I honestly didn't expect to use it this much. This is more action than my Kindle has seen the rest of the year combined this week. So luckily I do have the Kindle app on my iPad, which I do have the charger for because it's just my phone charger. So I will have this to read on, and maybe I'll actually get some more reading of Nona done like tomorrow or later tonight. So we'll see. That's my update. I feel like on top. I was reading in the pool. I just love this book so much. Oh my god. Hi everyone, I do not want to talk about my hair, so we're not going to talk about my hair, but I do want to talk to you about wrapping up this vlog. So yesterday we drove, I mean, it wasn't just driving, but the travel time from apartment, like Airbnb to hotel, was like 14 hours. So I was in the car for a really long time yesterday, but then we only had to drive 4 hours today, which was nice. I'm so glad to be home. I had to sleep on a bunk bed all week. I don't know if I ever showed you guys that, but I was on the top bunk because I like to sleep by myself, and my siblings are fine sharing. And I'm so glad to be back with my bed that's like on the floor. So happy. So I had such a good time. It was so beautiful. It was so warm. I loved going in the pool. I have a community pool across the street from me, so now that I own bathing suits, I might like go over there sometimes and hang out. It might be fun. I just need to figure out like what the hours are and like see when I can avoid like hordes of children in camps, you know what I mean? So that was super fun. I had just such a nice time. And I read a lot. I finished 10 books this week. There are 4 that I need to tell you about because I read them on the drive home. So starting off with those, and I'll just talk about them now because everything else I've talked about like much more. I read all 4 Heartstopper graphic novels by Oseman. I wasn't ever planning to read these, to be honest. Like, it wasn't something I was particularly interested in. Like I said, I don't usually just do straight up contemporary YA romances. It's not usually my vibe, even though I read another one this week and I loved it. But I actually saw some of the webcomics on TikTok, and TikTok just influences all of us. And I was like, I'm curious. So I ended up reading all 4. They were super fast. I read the first one this morning during breakfast, and then I downloaded the other 3 onto my Kindle app, which on my iPad, which is what I use for graphic novels. So it was beautiful and nice and digital and easy, instead of doing graphic novels on my Kindle, which I have done before I had my iPad, and it just doesn't work as well. There's no color, whatever. I loved Heartstopper. I would say that all of them are probably 4-star, with the 4th one being like 3.5-star, just because it's just a little bit more disjointed in terms of the timeline. Some parts feel rushed, some parts feel like longer. I don't know. I didn't love the pacing of the last one as much, but I absolutely adored the whole story. So if you haven't heard of Heartstopper somehow, it is a YA, it was originally a webcomic, but it's a YA graphic novel series about 2 boys falling in love. It's pretty much just a straight up YA contemporary romance about Charlie and Nick, and Charlie is a year younger than Nick. They end up in the same class and they just become friends. Charlie is out as gay at school, but he was really bullied for it like the previous year, and he struggled with that. And Nick is not out, and at the beginning of the story does not know that he is queer at all. So the first book really follows them like getting to become friends, and like the beginnings of the crush, and like starting to maybe have feelings for each other. And then from the 2nd to the 4th, they are pretty much together, and it's just seeing like their relationship development. The 3rd and 4th installments deal a little bit more with Charlie's mental health, and in the 4th book it really gets into the fact that he struggles with an eating disorder as well as some other mental health issues. So the 4th book is also just a bit darker than the other ones, because the first 2 are like cotton candy sweet, but they're so fast and they're so lovely, and I can't wait for the 5th one. I know that they're published for free as webcomics first, but I kind of want to just read it all in one go, and I feel like the best way to do that is to just wait till November and read the 5th installment when it gets uploaded as an ebook to the library. So I loved them. I would say 4 stars to all of them, 3.5 stars to the 4th one. So good, and it does make me want to read Alice Oseman's actually like non-graphic, like regular written novels. I know that Solitaire is a novel of Alice Oseman's that actually has like crossover characters with the Heartstopper graphic novels. I believe that Solitaire is about Charlie's older sister Tori, so that would be interesting. But I've also heard that that's not her best novel. Like, I believe it's her debut, and some of her other ones are, like, just better. So I think the one that I've seen people talk about the most is Radio Silence. So I will have to check that out, because I very much enjoyed these books. I was, like, blushing, giggling. I was turning around my iPad to show my sister, like, funny panels. It was just really, really cute. Okay, and then the other 6 books that I finished this week. First, I finished the audiobook of Easy Beauty. I talked to you about that right at the beginning. And then I read Home Field Advantage by Dahlia Adler. I loved this adorable sapphic YA romance. It was so cute. It's the perfect cheerleader football player romance. And it's kind of pitched as hate to love, but I really consider it more of a secret relationship trope rather than a hate to love trope. Even though there is an initial dislike, they're pretty quickly on the same team. I just thought this was so fun. I think I just like sapphic romances with a butch character. Then I've talked about these at length, but I really loved the Big Bad Wolf series that I read this week by Charlie Adhara. The first book is The Wolf at the Door, which I read last year, and then this week I read The Wolf at Bay, Thrown to the Wolves, A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, and Cry Wolf. And I think that these books are so good, I might go back and retroactively rate them all 5 stars. If by the end of the year I'm still like, I want to reread those. I will say that individually I could see the weak spots in each of the books. I think that they're all a little rushed at the end. It feels like the climax happens and then there's like 10 pages left in the book. So I do think things get wrapped up very quickly, but I loved the relationship. I loved the character growth that both Cooper and Park go through, and how they're constantly just fighting to be better, not only for each other, but like for themselves. And I just love their relationship. Oh my God. And see, that is how I get into reading slumps. I don't know how other people get into reading slumps. Maybe it's just, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to read. But most often when I get into reading slumps, it's because I read something that I love and I just want to keep getting that feeling. But I don't want to just reread that same book because I could be reading other stuff. You know what I mean? Or I want to read something exactly like that book, which you're never going to do unless you reread that book. So I just wanted to, I almost was like, I'm not going to read for weeks. And then I was like, oh, Heartstopper is very cute and it's quick and it's easy, so I can get into that. I loved the Big Bad Wolf series. I thought it was chef's kiss, perfection. I am devastated that there's no more books specifically about Cooper and Park, but Charlie Adhara does have another series that she's writing. The first book is out. It's called Pack of Lies, and it is about Eli, who is a secondary character in the Big Bad Wolf series. And then the only other one that I really got any momentum on is Nona the Ninth. Beautiful, lovely, gorgeous. I got up to the end of day 3, so this is the beginning of day 4, and that corresponds to page 224. So I read 224 pages of Nona the Ninth this week. I am obsessed with it. I love it so much. It is such an interesting choice as a continuation for this series, especially after Harrow, which is so different. It's much faster to read for me than Harrow. I feel like with Harrow, my brain was working like overtime to make sure I was like trying to understand everything. This is written in a much more simplistic style because Nona's like kind of an idiot. Like, I love her, I'm obsessed with her, but she has like 2 brain cells to rub together and she lent both of them out to her friends. Like, she has nothing left, nothing going on up there, but she is the best. She's so sweet. I'm obsessed with her. But it's just so interesting to learn more about like the rest of this society, because the first 2 books are so insular in who is involved and like the types of people who are involved in those stories, and this is much more expansive. So I'm so enjoying it. I've talked about this book so much in this video, so I'm gonna just wrap it up. I'm obsessed. I can't wait to finish this, and hopefully this one won't take me a month and a half to read like Harrow did. So that's my hope. So all in all, I think that's a pretty good vacation. This video is going to be like an hour and a half long probably. I read so many good things. I had such a good time. I relaxed so much, and I can't wait to just get back into it and vibe and hang out with you guys. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I read this week and what you thought of them. Let me know if you're planning to read any of them. And also, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye!